Hello and welcome to Ask Profit on NDTV Profit.
Our fundamental guest, Avinash Gorakshakar, founder and head research of Avinash Mentor. Well, the first Satyan is holding office space for more than a year now. At around 660 is what he bought. Currently sitting on a loss of 50%. He wants to know the fundamental view on this. Avinash, how are you looking at this counter? Should he continue to hold this or move on to some other stock?
No, I think, Somit, this stock can be held on for a slightly longer term period. I think the investor seems to have purchased this stock at a peak level. Numbers have been pretty good for third quarter, and I think the workspace segment is growing rapidly. They are one of the largest co-work spaces players, and I think if the investor can average at the current level and take a 12 to 15 month kind of time frame, I think FY27 should be a lot better. So to that extent, I think he should average and he should keep a time frame of at least 12 to 15 months. The company's fundamentals are strong, the business environment is good, and I think a lot of clients are now looking at co-work spaces rather than buying their own office. So that helps them get into maybe the services part much easier. So I think this space is going to grow rapidly, and I think AWFIS is a very large player. So that gives them the scope for getting a good operating leverage also. So I think he should average and hold on for the next 12 to 15 months.
So that's with office spaces. In fact, we have a caller with us now. Man Singh from Andhra Pradesh has called. Man, what's your query?
Ma'am, I want to add especially transfer lighting. Is it right time to add?
Okay, so that's okay. So transrail lightning long-term outlook. Avinash, what's your view?
I think he can definitely, buy into the current price. The stock has corrected, from higher levels. And I think one reason for the correction, Hiral, was that there were some compliance issues, I think, which some, market influencer, who's a forensic expert, had mentioned about the company, and that resulted in some short-term selling. But I think numbers are pretty solid. If you see the December quarter, the kind of order book, I think if the investor can stay invested for the next 12 to 18 months, this is a very interesting space where, the company is a very large vendor. And most importantly, they've got a confirmed order book of almost 2,000 odd crores. So I think he can definitely buy into the dip, but he has to keep a time frame of at least 12 to 18 months.
A caller we have is Nipun from New Delhi. Nipun, good morning. What's your query?
Hi, good morning. My query is I hold Juniper Hotels 6,200 shares. I purchased when they were around 335 or 45 bucks. Just want to know that, what is the prospect of it? In spite of Juniper Hotels having good hotels in the portfolio, the share not rising from the time they opened the IPO, the shares are falling continuously. So should I hold on to it for long term? I just need some clarity on the same now.
Okay, so he's bought at 345. Avinash, what's your fundamental view on a Juniper Hotels?
No, I think, the investor needs to give in some more time. I think he's purchased it at a slightly higher levels. But I think if you look at the Q3 numbers and the kind of presence they have, my sense is that the hotel space looks interesting. I think over the next, say, 6 to 12 months, we believe that hotels and hospitality is one segment where pricing is going to be quite attractive. And I think ARPU's, the average room per room is also expected to move up. So to that extent, I think he can average and he can take a time frame of at least another 12 to 18 months. I think, these are stocks which move slowly, but fundamentally these are very strong, and I think they would continue to grow. So I think average at the current level so that he gets his average price right and he can hold on for the next 12 to 18 months.
The next query is coming in from Anup from Kochi. He's holding 10,000 shares of Kalyan Jewellers, bought at a price of 410. He's saying that the price has not been moving for the last 1 year. Should he? But he's sitting on a good profit as of now, given the fact that the stock has moved up in the last couple of trading sessions. Should he continue to hold this or should he exit? Avinash, any view on Kalyan Jewellers?
Yeah, I think numbers, Somit, have been very strong, and despite rising gold prices, gold jewelry companies, including Kalyan, you look at all the other companies like Titan, Senco Gold, most of these companies have done remarkably well. And I think, the fourth quarter is also going to be very solid. We get to hear that January also has been a very busy season for marriages. So that actually adds to the momentum for these companies. So I think if we can hold on for the next 3 to 6 months, would not be surprised that you could see a good bump up on Kalyan Jewellers. So I think, continue to hold. He's bought at the right level. I think he needs to hold for the next 3 to 6 months.
Coming in from Andhra Pradesh, Siddharth, you can go ahead and ask your query.
Sir, I have invested in AGA Green Pack. I am holding 60 shares at the average price 780 rupees. Is it right time to add more at current price, or should I add and decline? I can invest for 2 to 3 years horizon.
Okay, Avinash, any view on AGI Green?
Yeah, I think he can definitely average at the current level. See, this company has a very unique business model. The Q3 numbers have also been good. And I think if the investor has a long runway, at least the next 2 years, I think he should not be worried with the current price fluctuations. In fact, he's already in the money. But if he can average it at a slightly maybe lower level, I think that would even be better. So I think continue to add, in an SIP approach, which would give him a decent alpha over the next, say, 2 years.
Okay. The next query is coming in from Mahesh Babu from Hyderabad. His wife has got allotment of equity small finance bank 5,457. Presently, they are still holding around 2,457 after selling at an average price of 75 rupees per share, the remainder. Should he hold? What's the advice for a long-term investor? Avinash, your view?
No, I think he should hold on because I would not be surprised. The fourth quarter would be definitely be better. In fact, the overall banking pack, if you see, the third quarter has been quite encouraging. We saw the PSU banks doing better than the private sector bank, but I think smaller banks like Equitas should definitely do well. And I think, if he can continue to hold for the next 6 to 12 months, he should get a decent risk reward.
Right. The next query is coming in from Ilyas from Andhra Pradesh, and he wants to know whether is it a good time to buy data patterns at current prices for long term. Avinash, any view on data patterns?
See, I think if you have a 2 year view, Sumit, then definitely this is a very solid business, a very business which is backed by very strong order book. In the short term, the stock may not show any significant upside, but in the longer term, at least over the next, say, 12 to 18 months, you could definitely expect a decent risk reward. So I think, again, I would suggest that it's better to buy such kind of stocks in an SIP approach, which would give the benefit of alpha. And maybe, you could do a kind of a rupee cost averaging also if you do an SIP kind of approach.
Okay, SIP kind of approach for data patterns.
I have a urban company shares, 5,000 shares,
Okay.
125 rupees. My query is that it's a professional service sector. So what I do for that, actually, it's good for me for next 5 years, or I will hold and I will more purchase. I want to ask Avinash.
Okay. Avinash sir, any view on urban company? Should he continue to hold this counter for the next 5 years?
No, I think definitely, Somit, these kind of services are the need of the hour. And I think despite the fact that urban company has not reported a very strong quarter in Q3, I think they have been, ahead of the pack. In fact, they went public only last year. And I think overall the opportunity for these services is quite huge. So, considering the fact that today urban lifestyle does not give time, to working couples, I think this is definitely a good service. So I think if you has a 2 or 3 year kind of time frame also, I think things will definitely change. In the short term, the stock is going to be under pressure because numbers have not come up to expectations. But yes, over the next, say, 2 to 3 years, if we can continue to hold, I think this is a very large opportunity, which I think the company will capitalize.
Okay, large opportunity for urban company you can continue to hold. He's coming in from Mohan from Bangalore. He's on the call with us. Mohan, what's your query? Good morning.
I just bought 10 shares of Sem India projects. Can I have these shares for long-term perspective?
Okay, so Avinash, what's your view on Sem India projects?
No, I think looking at the long-term, growth trajectory, Sim India definitely has a very good order book. I think has a very good execution track record. So I think, at these levels, I would say that numbers for quarter four are also going to be quite good. The investor can hold on. Fresh buying could be advisable only at lower levels.
Continue with the queries. The next query we have is from V. Murli from Bangalore. He's holding 300 shares of Pitti Engineering at 1,271 rupees per share. He's incurred a significant loss. He wants to know whether he should switch to another stock to recoup at least part of the losses from the last 12 months. Avinash, your view? Avinash, you're on mute.
I think company has been doing well, but overall, I think, if the investor can hold on for the next 12 to 18 months, this is definitely a scalable business. I think he needs to understand that he's purchased it at a slightly higher level. So I think he should continue to hold rather than booking out in a loss.
Query coming in from Mumbai. Ramesh, you can go ahead and ask your query.
Yeah, I'm holding 5,000 shares of Sagility at the rate of 51.75. I want view for 1 year.
Okay. Avinash, your view on Sagility for the next 1 year?
I think he should continue to hold. The company has been doing pretty well. And I think in terms of numbers, FY27 should be a lot better. So I think continue to hold.
Okay. So that's with regards to where Sagility goes. The next query is coming in from Vamsi from Andhra Pradesh. Her view, she wants a view on Eternal. Can she buy at this price of 278 for a short-term target of 3 months? Avinash, your view on Eternal?
No, I think longer term, yes, I think Eternal can make a lot of money because this is a product which is the need of the hour, typically for urban metros and cities. But I think in the short term, the stock may see a little bit of pressure because in the food delivery app business, there's a lot of competition now. And I think some fresh buying always could be done at a lower level. Maybe, at the current levels, the investors who have purchased it can continue to hold.
Next query is from Yuvraj from Chennai. He's holding 1,000 shares of Geo Finance, currently sitting on a loss of around 20% odd. Avinash, any view on Geo Finance? Should he continue to hold, exit, or average?
No, I think this is also a long-term story, Sumit. Next couple of years only, if the investor can hold on, then only I think this investment can give a decent risk reward. In the short term, there are not many triggers where the stock will go up. So I think the investor needs to take a longer-term call and stay invested for the next 2 years.
Okay.
From Vijayawada is holding 350 shares of Orchid Pharma, bought at a price of 790, currently sitting on a loss. Should he hold this counter, Avinash?
No, I think he can continue to hold, but I think the time frame needs to be at least 12 to 18 months. The stock has risen significantly, and I think he needs to give in some more time, to get the a decent alpha. That will take at least 12 to 18 months.
Okay. The next query is coming in from Divya. She's bought 100 Meesho shares at 203 rupees. Now the loss is around 5,000. Should she hold or average out? This query is for Avinash.
No, I think my sense is on any rise, this stock should be exited because, this is a loss-making company. The company will take some time before we see profitable growth kicking in. So I think advisable to exit and maybe invest in, stocks like Bank of Maharashtra or maybe a Canara Bank, which possibly can give a better risk reward.
Query coming in from Mumbai. Ajay, you can go ahead and ask your query.
I wanted to know whether it's the right time to enter Sonata Software.
Okay.
For 18 months to 24 months perspective.
Okay. Avinash, should he buy Sonata Software for the next 2 years?
No, I think it's better to put your bet on the large cap, Somit. I think something like a TCS, which has corrected sharply, or maybe an Infosys, I think would be better bets.
Okay, so that's the IT view coming in there. Query coming in from Bangalore. The view on Acuitas, which has been bought at 2090 for long term. Avinash, your view?
I think here also, one can hold on, but fresh buying at these levels is not advisable. I think valuations are fair to expensive here.
Next query is coming in from Suman from Kolkata. He has 4 shares of Cummins India, bought at an average price of 4,514. The long-term view on this also as well, Avinash?
No, I think Cummins also can be held on. I think at these levels, the price, the risk reward is definitely evenly priced. So despite the fact that it is an MNC, I would say it's a good hold. Fresh buying only at lower levels.
Ramesh Prabhu from Mumbai wants to know whether is it a right price to add PTC India. He's already holding 800 shares at a price of 116 rupees per share. And the dividend yield has been more than 7%. He wants to know whether should he add more of this counter. Any view on this, Avinash, PTC India?
Yeah, I think if you're taking a next, at least 12 to 18 month view, I think it definitely can categorize as a good kind of addition. But again, I would suggest that if he wants to buy the stock for only dividend yield, then I think he should use a SIP approach rather than putting all the money in one shot.
Is holding 10 shares of M&M, bought at an average price of 3,736. Should he buy more or average at the current price? Avinash, any view on M&M?
No, I think Mahindra definitely categorizes as a good long-term bet. So I think use the current price to average and add a little bit more. We are pretty sure that next year should be a strong year. So continue to hold and average at the current level.
Okay.
From Kerala, Murli, you can go ahead and ask your query.
Okay, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay, I have BSC Limited stocks 25 numbers at the rate of 3,170. I purchased. Now it is around 2,935.
Okay.
Then where it is going, I would like to know. And the long term also, can I hold for long?
Okay, Avinash, should he hold BAC for long term? He's already sitting on a loss.
No, I think I think the capital market stocks have corrected because of some regulatory measures announced by RBI. But I think longer term, the capital market theme will continue to flourish. And I think, despite the fact that, competition is increasing, we are likely to see the NSE IPO going to happen soon. So that will be the near term trigger point for BSE. So I think, he's got to give in at least a couple of years before he sees a decent risk reward.
He's from Kerala and he wants to know whether should he buy Titagar Rail System. He currently holds 51 at a price of 1,389, currently sitting on a loss. And Avinash, your view on this?
No, I think, see, again, these stocks have rallied at a higher level and now they've come down, but the growth story continues to be intact. So I think, if the investor can give in at least a couple of years, then only I think he can make a decent gain here. He needs to realize that the company is doing pretty well, but I think the price at which he has purchased has been on the slightly higher side. So he can average at the current level and stay invested for the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
The next query is from Vishnu from Andhra Pradesh. He's holding 100 shares of Clean Science, bought at a price of 900. What is the long-term view on this, Avinash?
Stock has not performed well ever since it went, it got listed. And I think, Somit, markets respect performance. So I think, at least we would like to wait for maybe another 1 or 2 quarters before, I think we can give a direct call. I would say that those who have can hold on, but fresh buying is not advisable.
Okay, so that's Clean Science. The next query is coming in from Samir Kanodia from Lucknow. He's holding Bandhan Bank shares from the past 4 years and currently 45% loss. Should he sell or hold? He's bought at 288. Currently, the stock is trading at 168. Avinash, any long-term view on this one?
Yeah, I think the bank has done remarkably well, but microfinance still continues to be under pressure. So I think from a longer-term perspective, the investor can hold on.
Next query is coming in on a Coal India. That stock has had a good run up in the last couple of days. He's bought at 410 rupees, 87 shares. This is a query from Vignesh. What should he do now? Avinash, any view on a Coal India?
Yeah, I think continue to hold. The near-term trigger will be the dividend announcement post the March results. I think the investor can continue to hold on.
Patnam is holding 60,000 shares of Vodafone Idea, bought at a price of 12 rupees. What is the 12-month view on this, Avinash? Should he hold?
No, I think better to exit. Vodafone has been continuously making losses despite the fact that, government support has come in. But I think this remains largely a trading stock. So I think avoid, at current levels, better to exit.
Okay.
1,025 shares of Reflex Industries, bought at a price of 430. Should he hold, sell or average? Any view on this, Avinash?
Yeah, I think he can continue to hold. In fact, he can average also because this is one of the, environmentally strong player which operates on the on the cement waste which is generated and which is considered to be a e-waste for building material. So company has done remarkably well, but I think there was some selling pressure because of a little disappointing set of numbers for Q3. But looking at the kind of order book the company enjoys, I think definitely one can expect a bounce back in Q4 and a better year in FY27. So continue to hold.
Okay, so